guys, I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and if you're a BlackBerry user on Verizon that's a little bit sick of the design, a little bit sick of how the operating system works, you want something new, but you need the email capabilities and the physical QWERTY keyboard, the Motorola Droid Pro may be for you. It's available now on Verizon Wireless, both in the stores and online for $179.99 after mail-in rebate. You know, this is a direct competitor to BlackBerries, to existing BlackBerry users, to people that are looking to switch to BlackBerries, and for Android people as well. It's a pretty high-end device, spec'd well with a 1 GHz processor, 5 megapixel camera, Android 2.2, 3.1-inch display, and more, which we'll find out in the unboxing. Special thanks to our friends at Best Buy Mobile for hooking us up with not one, but two Motorola Droid Pros for use on One Paw Bandit giveaway. You know, one thing that's nice about Best Buy Mobile, you walk out working. So you go to get the Motorola Droid Pro, you want to set up your email, you want to do all these cool things that the Droid Pro can do, Best Buy will hook you up. They'll set it up so when you walk out the door, you're walking out working. But enough of that, let's get into the Motorola Droid Pro unboxing. Starts right now. Okay, here's the Motorola Droid Pro on Verizon. As I said, it's available as of today for $179.99 after rebates, and it's really a huge competitor to the BlackBerry, or at least Motorola wants it to be, with the physical QWERTY keyboard that's in portrait, nonetheless, portrait mode, and a pretty decent 3.1-inch display, which is right around what BlackBerry users are used to. You know, it's with Android, push Gmail, enterprise functionality on this device. It's something that every BlackBerry user that's tired of the platform should at least have a look at and consider. Is it worth switching to? We'll find out a little bit in the unboxing and more in the review. Here's what the box looks like. It's a little bit bigger than the other Droid boxes. And the package contents: phone, battery, 2 GB micro SD card, SIM card. This is a global device, so SIM card pre-installed, wall charger, data charging cable, 3 international adapters. So you get quite a bit in the box in addition to the instruction manuals. Here's the device, and it fits well in the hand. You can see very similar in terms of size to a BlackBerry. Here's the 9780, which I'm working with. You can see it's a little bit taller. The display is a little bit taller, but in terms of that physical QWERTY keyboard, it's almost the exact same size. You get the 4 capacitive Android buttons just below the display, and then a little sticker that tells you where all the buttons are. That's on the display. Volume rocker on the left side, along with the micro USB charging port. Shortcut button on the right. We'll figure out what that is when we get into the device. 3.5mm headphone jack on top, power button on top, and a really roomy QWERTY keyboard. And you'll see it looks just like BlackBerry's keyboard, or BlackBerry keyboards rather, with the raised buttons. They're raised, they're tactile, they're large enough to where BlackBerry users should feel at home with that keyboard. 5 megapixel camera on the back with a flash, and a plastic battery door. You can tell already, just fingerprints everywhere. Very glossy device. You can tell, easy to get fingerprints on. Let's remove the battery door, see what's behind that. There's your battery, micro SD card slot with a 2 GB card pre-installed. And there's the Verizon Wireless and Vodafone SIM card for when you're traveling internationally. Now, this device does support 850 and 1900 megahertz spectrum, so you would think that you could throw in an AT&T SIM card and use it on AT&T service. Not the case. Not only is the device locked, the SIM card slot locked, but even some of the reviewers have unlocked the SIM card slot, and they're still unable to change the settings to make it work for AT&T or for T-Mobile if you're interested in using it just on Edge. So a little bit of a frustration there. Don't buy this device if you're on AT&T and T-Mobile, at least yet, until there's an unlocked solution. But for people on Verizon, that's great. You can use it when you're roaming overseas and not be tethered or not have to rely on another device. It's running Android 2.2. So let's continue through into the box here and see what we get. This, as I said, is an international device. So you get a couple of adapters and things like that. Verizon Wireless Global Support calling card. The SIM card's in the device, so you get that. So you can dial in when you're traveling overseas. Here's your charger, and it is a micro USB charger, but it's different from the typical. This is actually a nice little change from the AC adapter module / USB cable that we're used to. This is a typical Motorola charger here with the ability to, looks like, add in and remove. Yeah, throw down the, for example, let's pull this one out, the UK charger. And we'll see here, or I could have just undone the bag. That would have been better. Rip. See what it looks like here. Okay, so your UK charger goes down in here like that, looks like. There we go. Okay. So it pops down in like that, gives you that, and then there's your charger. In addition to a couple other tips, it's like standard European tip, and not familiar with that one, I can't remember. But you do get a USB cable as well. So USB cable for synchronizing data, things like that, along with consumer information, tips, hints, and shortcuts, product safety, and warranty information. So you get quite a bit in the box for a typical Android device. Put those adapters back in there. But you can see that's how they go on, and then get it off, pop it off, and then there's your typical US prongs. So let's power this bad boy on. You can see here it's typical what you would see on the Droid X and the Droid 2 with a customized dock. And then the Moto Blur widgets and a couple of other Motorola customizations. 3G mobile hotspot out of the box, Verizon's backup assistant, City ID, little Verizon things that we've seen a million times in the past. My Verizon Mobile, Need for Speed Shift, VZ Navigator, VPN client for enterprise users, Skype Mobile, and more. So, you know, it's automatically out of the box geared towards prosumers, to enterprise users, to people that would use, or a lot of people that use BlackBerries. Let's see here, Wi-Fi network available. We'll ignore that, but you can see up top, Android 2.2 with the lowercase PM, and then 7 home screens as well with a couple of widget options, and the ability to change those. Let's have a look at the keyboard real quick and see what that feels like. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy phone dog. Whoops. So I can already tell, you know, I used a BlackBerry for some time, and I can already tell the frustrations, or at least the things old BlackBerry users will have to get used to, are a couple things. One, there's a capitalized button, or shift key rather, on the left side, but not on the right side. Whereas on this one, you have the option on both sides to raise or to shift and raise up there. The Alt key is slightly shifted, and then little things like the period button and the comma button are a little bit different. So, and then the keyboard's curved on most of the BlackBerry devices. So, a few changes, but otherwise the keys are very roomy. It's a 4-row keyboard, as you can see. And I've been, you know, just in that initial test, I'm pleased. It'll take some time to get used to it, but I like the combination of the touchscreen and the keyboard. You know, I can see a dogfight between this and the Torch happening because, like I've said with the Torch, I like the ability to jump up, use the touchscreen, and then jump back down to the keyboard. Now, one thing that this doesn't have that the Torch has is the trackpad, so you can use just the keyboard and the trackpad, or you can use the touchscreen. You still do have to rely on the touchscreen 100% on this device for everyday tasks. So, a little bit of a difference there, but the keyboard feels good. Touchscreen looks decent. It's not a Super AMOLED display or Retina display or anything that's going to blow your mind, but overall it looks good, and you know, colors are pretty decent, and everything seems to be fine. Now, landscape mode should jump into a... Okay, so auto rotate screen's disabled out of the box. So I jumped into settings and re-enabled it so it'll auto rotate. And you can see when it rotates down and you click it, you can get it to the landscape keyboard, which is pretty easy to use and is very similar to the keyboard on the Droid X, the Droid 2, the Defy, that typical Motorola multi-touch keyboard. So let's see here. Hey there, how are you? So, you know, typing's reasonably quick. Again, 3.1-inch display. It's not as big, obviously, as the Droid 2 or the Droid X, so landscape is not going to be as pleasant to use. But still, it's nice to have the option to use that if you don't, for some reason, want to use the portrait QWERTY. But that said, you know, for people that do like me, that I actually don't care for using devices in landscape mode, so I usually lock all of my devices in portrait. It comes out of the box that way, so portrait is landscape is turned off. Out of the box, it's portrait only. So I'll show you to go into that. We can change it. Go down here to settings. We'll change it back. Display, and we'll uncheck auto rotate screen. So much more coverage to come with the Motorola Droid Pro on PhoneDog.com. You know, we'll have our typical first impressions, reviews, dogfights. I can see a dogfight between this and the Torch happening. So good stuff there. Be sure to stay locked on PhoneDog.com, as that'll be coming soon. Be sure to like us on Facebook as well, Facebook.com/PhoneDog. You know, we're giving away 100 iPads. That's pretty cool. And we're even giving away a trip to the 2011 Super Bowl as well. So that's pretty cool. Be sure to head over to Facebook.com/PhoneDog, like us, and enter the sweepstakes. You can enter several times, so be sure to take an in-depth look at the rules and regulations, things like that. Be sure to follow me on Twitter as well, PhoneDog_Aaron. Ask me any questions you have about this device or any other device you've seen on the site. I'll do my best to answer those, or just stop in to say hello. I'm a nice guy and would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to PhoneDog.com for more on the Motorola Droid Pro. Have a great day. You may find a lot to like in this device.